Some people will always believe her, no matter what comes out. They'll hold on to the story and never let go of the doubt. He may never get his name back, not the way it once was. Even if the proof is clear, the damage has been done. He may never get his name back, not the way it once was. Even if the proof
Hi, Blondify Studio. Evening, Out of Ideas.
My opinion isn't built on rumors, it's built on what I've seen her do.
Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Showed the truth. He may never get his name back, not the way it once was.
User 2359344667400. Thank you. I think red is one of my colors.
Tell me her words were enough. The way she played the game was cold and rough.
He may never get his name back, not the way it once was. Even if the proof is clear, the damage has been done.
Reputation is fragile, hard to rebuild once it's gone. But who he is will always stand. She can't take that from him. He may never get his name back,
not the way it once was. Even if the proof is clear, the damage has been done.
But I don't believe the
Thanks, Blondify.
Because I watched it fall apart. She ruined her own image with her own words from the start.
Y'all, I'm going to be trying to do shorter lives because I've been like uploading these to YouTube, right? So I'm like, I think I'm going to be good and like just be concentrated for like an hour. And then like if I want to do more than an hour, I'll like end the live and start a new live so that I can just have a clear cutoff. But y'all, I saw this docket 963-80 and I wanted to read it with y'all's. So this is when Justin Baldoni, December 27, 2023. Yeah, I don't do any editing Out of Ideas. That's the reason why I need to do just like 1 hour. Like I'm done and I'm going to put it up on YouTube, kind of situation. We'll see. I say that, but then y'all know me. So who am I kidding, right? The email to Alex and Todd. Yes, Ekala. Okay, so this was December 27, 2023 at 10:20 p.m. Now remember, then the following day, he gets a text message from Blake Lively acting all cash. Like, hey, that meeting we're going to have, like, we would just be happy, or I would just be happy to have you, Justin Baldoni, all by your lonesome. The person that I'm going to accuse of sexual harassment. Yes, you, sir. I want you in my home by yourself. Because, I always think about, I can only imagine what kind of accusation she was ready to leverage on this man if he was foolish enough to go to her home. And I think she probably said, oh, he's always been there. She might have been like, oh, he's always been here at the Penthouse. I always bring him over to the Penthouse, But ma'am, you're acting like you didn't do something like sketchy right now. Like, why would the man say, sure, let me just walk into this trap? Sarah said, I joined right when you said I would be happy to have you. And I was like, me? And Justin Baldoni, same me by myself in your house, in your penthouse. Blake, no thank you. Trap. Sky said, I'm so glad Jamie went with him. Yeah, I'm so glad that every stinking person went with him because trap. Jordana said they trapped him. Yeah, C2353 said, I love how Justin did the unexpected. Yeah, he's like, nope, learn my lesson. Don't trust you now. Blondify said, someone said Ryan surely must have recorded the meeting. I hope they did. Like, let's catch you in the act. All of y'all acts. L. Michelle L said, who went with him? You had Jamie, Alex, Ange, Todd, and Chris. Okay, so let me read what he wrote here. So Justin Baldoni wrote on December 27, 2023 at 10:20 p.m. He said, hey team, attached is a revised script with the below notes, caveats in bold. This is not final as there are things we need to discuss and then implement. Also, I have added in Chris Sargent, our AD here, to have eyes on this so he can digest at the same time as all of you. I've spent the better part of the last few days trying to figure this out. Everyone knows how I feel about all this and how angry I am that Blake has taken over our film and somehow rewrote a movie we spent years developing, writing, and funding. So yes, I am furious and sad, but I will continue to get back up with a goal of getting us to the finish line. I have come to terms with the fact that the only way out is through. I'm waving the white flag and submitting. I am going to give her 98% of what she wants. I'm sure none of us have the energy to fight anymore. This is Justin Baldoni. The team who has been working their butts off needs a shooting script on January 2nd. So here's where we are. There are minor things I did to each scene. Some I made notes on and tiny ones I didn't. Most of what I touched is below. The big issues are going to be intimacy. How and what we are shooting for those scenes, and how the script is going to be presented to her, and with what notes. To that end, we all need to get on the phone and talk through it, as the risk of something innocuous or not meeting her standards could and would very likely be used against me, as it already has. And creativity is impossible in an environment shrouded in fear. By now, we all know what she is capable of. The rest of the notes below, we need to walk through together. The docket number is 963-80. The rest of the notes below, we need to walk through together. Let me know when we can all hop on a Zoom tomorrow. I am hopeful we can find a path forward together, but we must now act as one. Justin. And so these are his notes. Removed rewrites on funeral scene, which was already shot. Scene 11, adjusted lines. Removed Ryle saying pretty please. Not in character. And removes... I'm sorry. I'm just laughing because this is the... Okay, he wrote scene 11, adjusted lines. Remove Ryle saying pretty please. That's a rewrite by Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. And then they said not in character. And remove subsequent Mariciano cherry line. You know it didn't get removed, y'alls. That was Blake Lively's line that they added. It was a Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively production, that cherry line. And he wrote here removed. And we know it wasn't removed. We know it wasn't removed. And what I heard, I don't know if this is true, but what I had heard is that she would giggle or ruin a scene so that the only good film footage that they had is the one where she's saying the line she actually wants to say. But the line is so stupid. Yeah, those were the cheesiest lines. The line was so stupid. Yeah, Danny. Yeah, asked Grady. That line was so stupid. I was like, what? Yeah, Bella Coco. I know. What line was it? I can't remember. That's right, LA, but it's the cherry statement. Gosh. It was so dumb. Okay, but it's so funny that it's written here. Carol said, where did it say that? It's on the last page of 963-80. Okay. Remove no kissing on the mouth line per Sony. Consider another alternative for prostitute, fitness influencer, personal trainer, etc. That's another Blake Lively line. She added the whole thing of like, she just wants to make sure you're not a prostitute. Oh my word. It's so funny. And yet Sony was asking that to be removed and replaced by something like, oh, no. He says, the fitness influencer, personal trainer. Like, interesting, like how so much of the feedback came from the lines that she wrote. And you can tell that it is her version that made it to the movies because those lines stayed in. You know the prostitute line, you know the cherry line because it's in there. Gave Lily, naked truths aren't always pretty. Need line from book. Remove I want to take you. Put back in I want to have sex with you. Kept the rest. We can do an alt and try on the day. Adjusted line after how many women has this worked on? Added DR line in response to carbs. F27, omit high tracking shots. Aerial work already done. 27, change karaoke to Lucky Strike, our location. Lily and Ryle play pool in scene. Can also take place at booth while Marshall and Alyssa bowl. If she wants to rewrite all this for Lucky Strike, needs to happen this week. So they're basically saying if she wants to rewrite this, it needs to be done this week. It's affecting so many things, right? 28, leaving Alyssa and Marshall in scene, but will be completely schedule dependent. Very high probability this will not work, and scene will be just Lily and Ryle walking up to her apartment. We haven't been able to make schedules work for both actors and no time. Be prepared for the two of them to not be in scene, but leaving in unit, we know more. So it sounds like maybe Hassan and Jenny Slate were already busy and could not come back to film more, maybe. Remove clucking line. I've never heard someone say that. I don't know what the clucking line is. But a removed clucking line. I've never heard someone say that. Why did she ruin this? Like, I mean, it was so unnecessary, especially seeing the original script. Like, I was like, okay, it's a hard thing for me to admit, but I'm admitting it now. Like, Justin Baldoni lied. Like, he just lied. And I was like, because the man said everything she touched, she made better. And that was a lie. She literally made everything worse. I mean, I can only imagine what this movie would have been if they allowed, like, I don't know, a screenwriter. A screenwriter? Yeah. People said, you know what? The reason... I do think, I have said this in my earlier live today, but I do believe the person who made the comment, not believe, but agree with the person who made the comment on my YouTube video, where they said the reason, yes, defamation, saucy, the reason that the reason Exhibit 55, thank you, Stacy, for the gift, the reason that Exhibit 55, like, we're looking at those things going, why is she saying this? These are smear campaign stuff like on her when he's saying all these positive things. And this person was saying, well, maybe it's because she knows it's not true. So she thinks he's being sarcastic. But anyways, my word, it cracks me up. Okay, so 31, removed, added, establishing shot, no money for a digi build. We don't have a plate of lily blooms. 38, need to discuss storyboards and intimacy here. Also need to discuss shirtless Victoria's Secret tank as she took out him shirtless. Okay, so she took him out being shirtless? That's a Ryan move. I'm sorry, that's a Ryan decision. That's a Ryan decision. Yeah, no sarcasm on the 17-point list. They said that would be considered retaliation to be sarcastic. 39. Don't think the no sex line works as it was removed before per Sony note. We'll be first to go in edit, but I guess we'll keep in for unity. Took one line out after to shorten. Need to know what Ange wants to do here. F41. Halloween moment will be dependent on Chris AD. And if he thinks we can do it with hair and makeup, leaving it in for discussion. B42. Need to discuss. Ange, remove the no kissing on the mouth line. Don't think we need dialogue here. She will fight back. Okay. I mean, yeah. C42, added line back in about surgery and conjoined twins. This is an editorial note we need. A44, removed hospital scene. Again. Added I love you too back into the loft morning scene. I'm happy to go back and edit and take a look at hospital scene per her request, but I need to shoot I love you in this scene. B44, new mirror moment. Will be time permitting with hair and makeup at Lily's apartment. 50, need to discuss intimacy here. My boards had a fun moment between the two of them, coming in drunk and being playful. I imagine this is what made her say the boards were cheap. Yeah, apparently she wanted, he said they had to remove the hospital scene again. 51, intimacy. Not sure what to do here. See note. She's moved the scene from the bedroom into the kitchen now, which takes away from the intimacy and how I was planning on shooting it. I wanted her to run into the kitchen from another area to sell the misdirect that it was an accident. She has removed kissing, which is fine in the end. The last thing I want to do is kiss this woman. I'm sorry, that's a really bad laugh. Sometimes I cannot control my laughter, okay? Sometimes my laugh sounds weird, okay? I own the laughter sounds weird. But I'm telling you, yes, Justin, would a person who's sexually harassing somebody really say... Look, yes, Justin, yes. She has removed kissing, which is fine in the end. The last thing I want to do is kiss this woman. Yes, Justin, yes. Every one of us say yes. You do not want to be kissing Blake Lively. But the point is, they need to get distracted enough to forget about the oven. And now with dialogue here, it changes it from a timeless moment of two people about to make love to dialogue that brings us into the realm of time. Not sure what to do on this scene. Thanks, Heather, that you like my laugh, because I was like, oh, sometimes I'm like, oh, pull that laughter back, because that's a little, sometimes I love my laugh, but other times my laugh is like really weird, and I'm like, take it back. Oh, Bachi has that laugh that's funnier than the joke. But aren't you like happy to see him say that the last thing he wants to do is kiss this woman? Like he's like, yeah, take out all the kissing scenes, but the problem is we actually need that for the scene. We actually need this for the scene. So now I got to figure out how I'm going to do this scene. But it's not because I want to kiss her. That's the last thing. You can don't worry, Ryan. I'm not like you, Ryan. I don't take people's spouses. I mean, no, not spouses, because she was the one who was married. But she was dating somebody, but at least she wasn't married like he was. But no, allegedly they did not get together during that time. But anyways, another thing to note here is the final shot of this scene is not scripted, but is supposed to be Ryle carrying her away, which is symbolic for her losing control in the relationship at this moment. I foresee her not wanting to do this, which puts us at an impasse with how I want to shoot the scene. Not sure how to proceed. 59. Left as it is with her new dialogue. A62. Remove line, he wouldn't have. In the book, Dad did hurt her. I'd rather make it less definitive. Remove the whole comedy bit at the end. Rip neurosurgeon thing. I understand she's trying to lean into this, which she has been doing since we started, but this will be the first to go in the edit, and we have a light moment coming with a proposal. Not needed. Cuts 3/4 of a page. 69. Remove stage direction. This isn't a oneer. left her dialogue, added Marshall saying, with the power vested in me by the state of Mass, added Alyssa wiping a tear. She loves her brother. It can't just be all jokes. Okay, that's another thing. Basically, they were trying to make this a comedy, a rom-com, literally. And Justin is like, this can't all just be jokes, okay? This can't all just be jokes. This is not a rom-com. This is so RR coded indeed. Or it is Blake Lively coded, and Ryan has just been living off the work of his wife because he can say things that she can't. And then that's why she never gets proper credit for her stuff. Can you imagine if all this whole time the success of Ryan Reynolds has truly been Blake Lively and she's never gotten credit, and when she's tried to do like her own writing, it lands really poorly because like that's when I do think sexism plays into parts. Because if I think sometimes with Ryan Reynolds, I'm like, why do we think this was funny? He's not funny. Anyways, but it would be really interesting because she kept saying like she never gets credit for anything, and I'm like, ma'am, you said you worked on every one of your husband's stuff, and you never got credit on your husband's things. Isn't this a conversation to have at your own house? Do you need to have a sit down with Ryan and say, why do you never give me proper credit when I work my butt off on all the things that you do? How come you just give me credit on your interviews, but not in the actual credit, where money's involved? All right. 70. Removed Lily and Ryle placing the photo on wall. Cheesy. Also, removed an entire wall of photos of their life and travels. Some photos okay, and will pass on to production designer. Left her dialogue intact. 76. Removed change of seasons time lapse per budget. 80 to 84. Need to discuss. Added in all of the abuse moments and how they will be shot per our production and pre-viz plan. The wonder that takes us through her memories. This will be a hill I die on. No time for a new idea. And we've spent days and days planning this, workshopping it, and pre-viz with stunts. A86, no longer driving through red light. Made this a short scene in the car where she enters and has a moment alone. She can make the action whatever she wants. 104, Ryle builds crib. Need to discuss. Left as is, but that means losing the moment of Ryle touching her belly and them having a moment. I think she allowed that to happen in the end, because I kind of vaguely remember that in the movie. 114, final scene, adjusted to the beginning. Too much dialogue with Emmy. This whole thing is in my mind is MOS, but we'll shoot it for peace. What's MOS? Does anybody know? MOS. What does MOS mean? Removed the man bringing such joy to all ages as he makes giant bubbles. BubbleManny.c.com or Edmund Leary, aka Uncle Bubbles. We can look for him in extra casting. Hate the couldn't miss you if I tried line, but again, leaving it in for peace. Couldn't miss you if I tried line. Do y'all remember that line? MOS is no audio. Interesting. Okay. Why does that stand for no audio? Okay, so then after Justin sends this this email, right? Alex Sachs responds the following day at 9:25 a.m. and she says, "Thank you for this thoughtful breakdown, JB, especially this week, and especially considering the circumstances. I'm free after 2 PT today or before 12 PT." Okay, folks. Think about this. Think about this response from Alex Sachs. Is that a person that thinks that he's guilty of SH? Thank you for this thoughtful breakdown, JB, especially this week, and especially considering the circumstances. And then Todd Black says, same. Thank you very much indeed. Free before 12 today. This was before. I don't know what mid-out sound means. What's MIT mean? To film without sound. Okay. Yeah, I mean, she does get it done. I mean, she has to play both sides. I hear that. But why are you going to I mean, mind you, there is some history with Alex and her former, I guess, boss. So I guess she's maybe not the best person to use as a litmus test of what she will and will not stand for. So, but Todd Black said the same. He said same. And then Justin sends a message on the same day and said, "Hi, all, can we hop on at 10 a.m.? I'm free until 11 and then with my kids all day." And then Todd said, "Yes, I can." And Alex says, "Same." And so this is the day, too, that, again, Blake Lively did that really super casual email, like, if you wanna come by yourself, you can. And he forwarded it to Alex and Todd and said, we're gonna bring Chris, too. Okay, so that was 80. The other things that I wanted to look at was the schedules. So there was a daily prep schedule. And I just didn't know if there's anything that will jump out to us when we looked at that. So this one was all meetings are Eastern Standard Time unless otherwise noted. Changes and additions marked in blue. So it looks like on April 27, 2023, there was a Lily and Ryle rehearsal in person, or was supposed to be at least. Then they had a Wayfarer weekly production meeting, an intimacy meeting in person. They were supposed to have an intimacy meeting in person with Justin Baldoni and then quote unquote Lily. So maybe it was young Lily or no, it just said Lily. So that's different. 3:30, Colleen Hoover was going to visit. At 4, young Lily's costume fitting. This is docket number 963-65. Then it was followed with the stunt abuse choreography meeting via Zoom. Then on April 28, they had a Ryle fitting, a G&E meeting, a walkthrough of Parlay Studios Stage A, a schedule meeting in person, a Lily belly fitting off-site, a call with Lily security via Zoom. Wait a minute, why do they put call with Lily security? Are they talking about Blake Lively? Why? They put it in parentheses, Lily's, but why would Lily have security? Call with Lily security. So I would think that would be Blake Lively. Now don't be doing this to me by confusing the actor with that. We don't need more of that. Meeting with Wee Hawken offsite. I don't know what that means. It ends with us weekly production meeting via Zoom. Okay, so then on April 30, there was an Alyssa fitting. On May 1st, there was a Tech Scout Day 1. May 2, they had another Tech Scout Day 2 and a camera test package prep. May 3, they had another camera test. May 4, they had Julie FKA Goth Bride fitting. And then they had the Atlas truck show and tell in person. And then it ends with us weekly production meeting via Zoom. May 5th, and again, I don't know if there's anything worthy here, but sometimes you got to read some boring stuff, and then you're like, oh my word. Okay. May 5th, it ends with us weekly production meeting, The respect in the workplace meeting, that's the sexual harassment one. That was a hybrid meeting, along with a productions meeting and a logistics meeting. Okay, so let's look at that, because there was sexual harassment seminar. It's actually listed as sexual harassment seminar, and it was and they provided us with the PowerPoint of the sexual harassment one. So it's from a company called MSK, and it's called Respect in the Workplace, Preventing Discrimination and Harassment and Retaliation. Discriminatory harassment and retaliation. I wonder, like, did she go to the harassment training? It's like, did she miss the HR meeting? Yeah, Ekela said, oh wow, PowerPoint and all. So let me read to you what this PowerPoint said. Why have training? To help maintain a respectful work environment for everyone, to educate you on risky behaviors that can lead to problems, to educate you on what to do if you feel you are the victim of harassment, discrimination, or retaliation. So the federal and or state law prohibits discrimination on the basis of age 40 and over. Oh my word, let me tell you, when I realize that I officially am I officially have a federal and state law that prohibits discrimination against me. I mean, in the sense of age, it was like, oh my word. I remember when I was younger, I never, like 40 plus felt so far away that it's like, how in the world am I here? You know what I mean? It's just so wild. But age 40 and over, ancestry, color, disability, gender identity expression, genetic information, marital status, hairstyle, medical condition, national origin, pregnancy, race, religion, creed, sex, sexual orientation, veteran, military status. User 2359344667400. Some are commenting on Julie's vids that there's evidence of JB mocking the meeting. Is that true? The HR meeting. I would love to see it. I have not seen it. But if they have one, let's see it. Bella Coca said, wait, you're 40? No, I'm 46. Apparently he's in the video at the bar. LA. Okay. The one that we see? That is what she claimed in her lawsuit, that he made some comment about an HR meeting in there. Like, I missed the HR meeting. So I do recall that she put that in the lawsuit. Is she saying that there is, what minute? I would need to rewatch that bar scene. Yeah, where he said, I must have missed the HR meeting. Well, if they have it, yeah, let's see it. If they have the minute in there, I would love to hear it. Out of Idea said, you thought I was in my 30s. I don't know how much longer that's going to be, but thank you. People have said that. Bella thought I was 34. LA said, I haven't seen it. I just saw a comment about it. Yeah, like, to me, every time people say, like, I've had people tell me, like, they feel like Blake Lively has all this convincing, like, evidence, right? And I said, and they think that the things for Justin Baldoni is damning to him. And I was like, okay, well, just tell me which ones I'm supposed to look at. Like, what number is it in the docket? Let me look at it for myself. Because I don't like making my evaluation based off of what somebody says. I got to see it for myself, right? And they never get back to me. But hopefully someone will get back to you when you ask them for receipts. Venice said, 46, girl, you look dang good. Thanks. User with a lot of numbers, which I usually love to read all the numbers, but thank God. I thought I was losing my mind, not as much as just learning that you're 46. Holy wow. Yeah, no, you know what's so funny? When my dad looked young forever, and then suddenly he just got old like that, like looking in his face. And he just like didn't even realize he started looking his age. And so he would still ask people like, guess how old I am? Guess how old I am? And I'm like, Dad, it doesn't work the same anymore, okay? My dad has since passed away, but I'm just saying, it was just kind of funny. So I'm like, I wonder how much longer is going to work. like how much longer. But I am using Medicube, so maybe that'll help it out. Danny said, wait, might he have been mocking her missing the meeting? You know, people have thought that. People have thought that. For sure. Because, yeah. But I would love to see what they're saying. Blake Kiss Justin Unscripted says, go to Reddit. There's a lawsuit. There's a lawsuit for what? Just Me said, how is that mocking though? LA said, do you know how far into the video? Not breezy. Heidi said, when she was talking about his nose? L. Michelle L said, he wasn't even allowed to joke during his movie. Just Me said, exactly, El Michelle. Lizzie said, Julie's probably going by an AI video. Saucy said, LOL, cute memory. Heather said, oh, ha ha ha, aw, dads. Yeah, I love my dad. Just Me said, it was probably like, oh, I'm the director and I missed a meeting. Saucy said, but I genuinely thought you were in your 30s. People have said that, so that... You know, I'm trying to remember what I look like in my 30s. Out of Ideas said, Ryan trolls Blake in Deadpool and Wolverine. Lines about her and him. Not Breezy 23 said, that's what I thought. He was mocking her missing it. Catherine said, when Lively improvised a grab of actor Henry Golding's crotch, can they bring this up later? I mean, it has to fit, like... I don't know if they can bring that up. I have no idea. And she'll just say that she got consent. I mean, that's what she says now. Oh, Blake Kiss Justin Unscripted said the director-producer of Age of Adeline was forced out and he filed lawsuit? When did he file the lawsuit? And defendants were Doe and Lakeshore? Interesting. Julesy said, hi, nothing about I'm not even attracted to you in the MSJ. What do you mean, Julesy? I'm not sure what that means. Okay, so I'm going to continue in my reading here. Okay, so discrimination, prohibition, applies to all terms and conditions of employment, such as hiring, assignments. Yeah, I mean, didn't she allege JB said that? Yes. But I was wondering what it meant for the MSJ. Okay, so discrimination prohibition applies to all terms and conditions of employment, such as hiring, assignments, promotions, discipline, terminations. So discrimination. Is it ever permissible to consider a protected characteristics, e.g. sex, when making an employment decision? Harassment. Why is harassment considered to be a form of discrimination? Josie said the claim that JB said, I'm not even attracted to you. This was not mentioned. They discussed all other claims. I think they discussed all the things that was listed within the within what they heard in the 30-point document, I think. But yeah, I mean, did they talk about the dance montage much? I don't know. And I mean, maybe he did say it, but like, there's nothing wrong with saying I'm not even attracted to you, even though it just hits like a person that got rejected or something. And which I think is what she was going for. Hey, Mary. Girlish Hambino said, Justin definitely says at one point, I don't want to kiss that woman. With her unscripted kisses. You know what? When that kiss happened in the hospital, and then he cuts, he says cut, and like his face drops. Like, he really did. There was a little bit. I mean, obviously, I might be reading into it because now we know stuff, and I'm like, was that disgust in his face? I don't know. He looked it out. Yeah, I mean, he definitely didn't feel thrilled. I mean, this is a person. Like, it's like, you know, I just think it's interesting. I think I saw Mandy's video. Was it Mandy? That was doing a video talking about, like, it's so weird that she made no accusations in the second half of the, you know, why didn't she make any accusations? Because a lot of the things that she accused him of, it's not like they were part of the work that he was doing. So it's hard, you know? It's hard to know, like, it was in the course of their work. So how could they not be a little bit afraid that no matter what I do, she's going to find something wrong? Mary said, can you imagine having to film love scenes with someone you can't stand? Yeah. I mean, again, he's a great actor. He's a definitely great actor. Okay, types of harassment, quid pro quo, and a hostile work environment. So what does this phrase mean? Quid pro quo, this is a Latin phrase. It means this for that. Saucy said, I think he was shocked and out of character for a moment, but made it shocked. Yeah, he did look a little bit, he actually looked confused, right, when she kissed him, and then he looked at her like he looked confused. And also, her line, the line she delivers in that scene was confusing to me. Because I was like, why is she saying that? She says something like, I love you, something too, or I don't know what she says. Oh, he said he needed that line. But it was, I don't know, she said it so weird. Yeah, it didn't fit. I was confused by it. I'm like, what is this? No wonder it got cut. I happen to love you too, is what she said. Yeah, it was weird. I was like, what is this? Okay, quid pro quo sexual harassment. Expressly or implicitly conditioning employment benefits on sexual favors or denying employment benefits because someone refuses to submit to advantages. Quid pro quo also is generally engaged in by someone in a position of authority or power. Abuse of the authority granted to management. What does this phrase mean? Hostile work environment. Hostile environment harassment. Conduct because of sex that is unwelcome and becomes so severe and pervasive that it unreasonably interferes with work performance or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive working environment. The same principles apply to harassment because of any protected characteristic, e.g. race, religion, age, etc. Hostile work environment, 3 key elements. Conduct because of severe or pervasive, unwelcome. Element 1, conduct. It can be verbal, visual, or physical. Verbal. What are examples of verbal conduct that could contribute to a hostile work environment? So listen to these examples. And I'm like, if Blake Lively was in this meeting, was she in this meeting to try to get ideas of what to accuse him of? But just kidding. So the examples verbal. Pet names. Baby doll. Honey. Stud muffin. Stud muffin? Who says that? I guess maybe people did. Slurs or derogatory names. Unwanted nicknames. Like Corn Hoover. Well, maybe she doesn't. Maybe it is a wanted nickname for Colleen. Sexual comments, stories, or innuendos. Well, that's one that she definitely used against Justin. She says he was making those things. Jokes about sex, race, religion, ethnicity, etc. Oh, this one I feel like she used as well. Asking about sexual fantasies and activities when they were talking about the whole situation about having to talk about like the scenes. Which one, Carol? What do you mean? Which one am I reading now? Sorry, I keep going back and forth, Carol. It's 963-67. Making sexual comments about someone's clothing, anatomy, or appearance. I mean, I guess that's really just, she was just talking about her own shoes. So I guess that's different. Repeated requests for social contact or dates, and catcalling. Visual. What are examples of visual conduct that could contribute to a hostile work environment? So examples are staring, leering, elevator eyes. Remember when she was saying to Liz Plank in a text, like, I don't want their gaze, Gaze. I don't want that, you know? So, sexual objects or gifts. Oh, Amanda. So Justin's nose comment. And here's the thing. It's hard because I do think she was joking. But she's just not funny. It was a rude comment. But at the same time, I feel like it wasn't a rude comment because she did fix her, I mean, not fix her nose, but she did change her nose. So I feel like it's kind of like when you're a part of a particular group of people, you joke within that group, and she would be part of, like, I changed my nose group, you know? So her making a comment on his nose, I mean, she may not have thought it was inappropriate because she changed her nose. So, I don't know. I mean, out of ideas, you say I've said if what she did was S8, I mean, what he did was SH, then Blake committed SH as well. I mean, the thing is, it all comes down to, like, consent, right? Like, you can do exactly the same thing to somebody else, but the difference is like, you actually wanted that kind of contact with somebody. You know, somebody once said, like, what's the difference between a boyfriend and a stalker? And they said because you want to be around your boyfriend, you don't want to be around a stalker, but, like, they do kind of the same thing, you know, but not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, they're there. You don't want them there when they're a stalker, but a boyfriend, you want them there. But, like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, consent is everything. What I think was difficult with Blake Lively is it was very confusing with her. You know, I think it was the erraticness. It was the erraticness of Blake Lively's, like, boundaries. I think if her boundaries were very, like, solid and not so fudgy, but at the same time, it's because, like, people are like, well, people should know, and I don't know. It's so tough. I just really feel like this is something that didn't have to escalate to this level. I mean, my word, she filmed 16 days in phase 1. And she didn't have any reports of sexual harassment in every one of those 16 days. The bulk of it is in 2 days, and she dealt with it like this. She had an issue. She brought it up to Ange on the 26th. And the Sony reached out to Wayfarer by the 29th. Justin reached out to her by the 30th. That's fast. That's not people disregarding her issues. And that's why it's so confusing for her to then turn around and act like things were unresolved when they were so quick to respond to her concerns. And also, yes, I also love Justin Baldoni's nose. Don't get it twisted. I also love his nose. I am so sad when people touch their nose. Though there are some that did touch their nose, and I think it really fit their face well. I've always thought that Ashley Simpson's nose job was one of the best nose jobs, and Blake Lively's nose job is a really good nose job. And I will say that even when she didn't have her nose job, Blake Lively always had, like, kind of like this bubbly, like a bubbly personality, like giggly, you know? So I don't think even if she never changed her nose, I think she would have still the same kind of energy about her. Okay, so other examples: staring, leering, elevator eyes, sexual objects or gifts, pinups, sexual, racial, or religious cartoons, facial expressions, winking, licking lips, obscene or sexual gestures, sexual or romantic notes, touching oneself in a sexual manner. Physical, what are examples of physical conduct that could contribute to a hostile work environment? Physical, touching, hugging, kissing, patting, pinching, poking, stroking, blocking, brushing, massaging. Okay. Element 2, severe or pervasive. Conduct, oh, thank you. It's because thank you, Lane, that you like my hair. I washed it today. Sometimes I get really lazy and I pull it up, but yeah. Conduct must cross this legal line in order to be considered unlawful harassment. Our goal is to prohibit conduct that could contribute to a harassing workplace and stop such behavior before the line is ever crossed. Management's goal should be to steer clear of this line. Element 3, unwelcome. What is unwelcome conduct? How do you know if your conduct is unwelcome? You often don't. Is the person just going along to get along? A person who is offended, and then things to consider. A person who is offended by your conduct is not obligated to tell you before raising a concern. Well, I think Blake Lively took that seriously. Things to consider. Conduct can be between people of any gender identity. Things to consider. A person does not need to be the subject of the harassing conduct in order to have a legitimate concern. Things to consider. Harassment by or towards third parties such as vendors and contractors also is prohibited. Things to consider. Harassment can occur off-site or outside work hours, including during breaks. Things to consider. It is the impact that matters, not the intent. Yes, I agree. Typically, yeah, I do. No, I agree. Be aware of, I do agree. I was fudging there for a second. I think everything that Blake did, I'm like, but anyways, but it is important. It is about the impact that matters, not the intent. So be aware of implicit bias, a form of bias that occurs automatically and unintentionally that nevertheless affects judgments, decisions, and behaviors. And I do feel very strongly about that to be true. So I just didn't want my hesitation for a moment there to be misconstrued or misunderstood. Okay, so things to consider. What if mature content is part of the job? Is it necessary to the performance of the job? Was employee made aware that it is part of the job? Retaliation. It is unlawful to take adverse action against an employee because she or he has engaged in legally protected conduct. Retaliation made a good faith complaint about possible harassment or discrimination, participated in an investigation or proceeding, protested or opposed conduct believed to be unlawful, exercised any right under any anti-discrimination law. Company policy prohibits harassment, discrimination, and retaliation, urges employees report concerns, obligates management to report concerns to HR, provides for investigation and corrective action. And then company policy, your reporting contacts and review questions. And true or false, only sexual advantages and requests for sexual favors violate the company's policy prohibiting harassment. That is false. True or false, unless the misconduct rises to the level of unlawful harassment, the company may not discipline an employee for violating its policy prohibiting harassment. False. True or false, company policy prohibits discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. True. True or false, in order to create an unlawful, hostile work environment, prohibited conduct must be because of a protected characteristic, unwelcome and severe or pervasive. That is true. True or false, private emails sent on the company's email system are not subject to its policy prohibiting harassment. False. True or false, only racial and ethnic minorities are protected from discrimination in the workplace. False. True or false, is it okay to tease a coworker about his religion as long as I make a joke about my own religion at the same time? False. True or false, before going to HR, A person who is offended by my conduct has a legal duty to confront me and to ask me to stop. False. Again, she took that one very seriously. True or false, sexual harassment may only occur between members of the opposite sex. False. True or false, an employee has a right to post whatever she pleases in her work area or office. False. True or false, because I oppose illegal immigration, it is okay to make derogatory comments about immigrants in the workplace. False. True or false, co-workers may contribute to a hostile work environment. True. I love that you're answering this, Saucy. Not me answering with you. True or false, sexual harassment of an employee by a vendor is prohibited by our policy. True. True or false, if an employee allows one co-worker to hug her, she must allow everyone in the office to hug her. False. Oh, hugging culture. But I mean, actually, no, this is very true. Just because one co-worker hugs doesn't mean everybody needs to hug. True or false? I mean, I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm reading this and I'm like, did Blake Lively get ideas? True or false? Only high-profile people like producers and actors are likely to be accused of sexual harassment. False. Hypothetical. Sherry transfers to a new location with her employer. Her new supervisor, James, is friendly and helps her get familiar with her new job duties. After a few days, when no one else is around, James comes over to Sherry's work area to chat. James talks about what he did last night, which was to go to a strip club. Sherry's shocked that James would bring up such a topic in the workplace and says nothing in response. James continues talking and says that all women in the office are so unattractive that he needs to get out and see some hot chicks once in a while. He tells Sherry he is glad she joined the staff because unlike the others, she is easy on the eyes. Sherry feels very offended and demeaned that she and the other women in her workplace are being evaluated on their looks by their supervisor. Hypothetical questions. Question 1. Because James did not tell Sherry that she is unattractive, he has not harassed her. True or false? False. By bringing up his visit to the strip club, James is engaging in inappropriate workplace behavior. True or false? True. Question 3. James should be instructed to stop making these types of comments, but this is not a serious matter. True or false? False. Any questions? They end it with MSK. So this is what the training would have been that they would have all attended, either in person or hybrid. And I wonder, I wish that they showed like who attended. I mean, even if they redact everybody's name except Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath and Blake Lively. Leslie 232, why haven't we gotten Blake's MSJ? Because she did not do one. She did not do one. Fifi I mean, the deadline is passed. She did not do one. Fifi Shadow said, I used to work in the construction industry. Blake wouldn't survive. Lizzie said, they are using this in the MSJ response. I can see it. Leslie 232, why? Why did she do it? I mean, only Blake Lively can tell you. I don't know if I think it's because she doesn't have enough facts behind her to say definitively she can, that the facts are behind her. I don't think she has that necessarily. Or maybe she didn't want to reveal how little evidence she has. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, usually I heard the plaintiffs don't file one. Usually. I heard that usually it's just the defendants, but it's not unheard of. Again, I am not a lawyer. So a lawyer is a better person to answer that question. And thankfully, we have so many lawyers available at like on this app with us. User 2359344667400 said, is it because of the new sanction maybe? Nah. I don't think so. They're very much Oprah. They're the Oprah of sanctions. You get a sanction and you get a sanction and you get a sanction. So nah, I don't think that's it. Let's see what else happened. May 8th, camera checkout. May 9th. Okay, I'm back on 963-65, Carol, if you're wondering. Camera checkout. Okay, so May 10th. May 10th, they were supposed to do a Vegas shoot. But then, you know, she called out sick. I don't know why I did this, but yeah, she called out sick. Camera checkout, G&E checkout. And then they had upcoming meetings to be scheduled. Okay. The interesting thing is, okay, Nene, you said a what? Are you talking to me? A what to me? I don't know what I said. I will say it's interesting because Michael Gottlieb said that there was complaints that Blake Lively had on May 11th. And I'm like, that's interesting because they weren't working yet. So where would it have been? Like what? Like I think he seemed to give the inclination, or he seemed to be throwing out the idea that a sexy comment was made on May 11th. Maybe I can't recall fully, but I was like, that's interesting because she's never provided dates, and then this is the first time I'm hearing that date, and I don't know if it makes sense with the schedule. Okay, so this is the final thing I'm going to look at because I told y'all I'm only going to stay an hour, and it's an hour and 1 minute. But this is what they did on May 5th on. Let me see if there's anything. Actually, never mind. I read these things already, really. They just added more things. A few things. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, maybe I'll read one more thing actually before I do a closing song. This is so this is May 4, 2023. Justin Baldoni wrote, and then Elizabeth Talbot made some changes. This was he said, "Please note the way these are shot and what is shown will be a collaboration between me and Blake. So the first love scene, the vision should be passionate, sexy, should be choreographed in a way that shows a glimpse into their power dynamic. She's in charge, and then he takes over. Two strong personalities coming together as one. In terms of sex and what is shown, we should see two naked bodies in various positions, but only flattering ones Blake is comfortable with. Her choice. Her on top, him seated and holding her. Him on top, all sensual and beautiful, no nipple. We should be able to go wide for orientation, but the majority of the work should be in close-ups and 50-50s. I imagine side boob and outline of butt in close-ups if she is comfortable. I am fine showing my butt, parentheses female gaze. There will be pelvis movement, but no orgasm, no oral sex. Hands should be able to caress various body parts. If Blake is comfortable showing Ryle kissing her belly and then leaving frame for a moment and then staying on her face, I think that's something women would like to see, but also fine not doing it, as I know oral sex was something off limits, but wasn't sure about implied oral sex." Saucy, yes, that's is in parentheses, yeah. Female gaze, Gaze, yes. The ask. The action is simulated vaginal sex in a variety of positions, missionary, reverse missionary, seated, inferred oral sex, off camera, kissing down body, leaving frame and staying on Blake's face, no orgasm, hands caressing body, no contact with breast or groin, nudity, side breast, no nipple, naked back, outline of buttocks. Then you have Vegas. This scene is about friendship. It's a consumption, isn't it a consummation? But anyways, it says it's a consumption of their marriage and the relationship. Fun, silly, playful. The goal is to choreograph in a way that keeps Blake's clothes on as much as possible. Sex with pelvis movement in positions that work with keeping her dress on. Maybe top of dress slides down and we see some bare back. Dress would be hiked up so we may see outline of butt. Hard for me to imagine without seeing frame or how dress moves. hands groping, and I'm okay showing rear, as I don't know any other way to make love in an Elvis. Sorry. he said, he said, hands groping, and I'm okay showing rear, as I don't know any other way to make love in an Elvis costume. Anyways, no nipple, no orgasm, fun, intimate, innocent. And then the frittata, morning sex that doesn't happen, no nudity, tops would be off, kissing around body. They are about to have sex when frittata happens, more about sensuality than sex. Then the onesies make out, they come in drunk, making out in onesies, less about seeing bodies and sex, more about onesies coming off. I'm fine if Blake wants to just take mine off and we make it playful. So that's what Justin says. And then Lizzie Talbot responds back and said, I want Blake to have Justin's words directly. I've just added some clarification of what the ask is below. And then taken out grope and put in caress. If this is okay, I'll do it for the rest of the scenes below too. Thanks, Lizzie. So it was just, she was just showing how she was going to rewrite like what was discussed. So, yeah, that was what, yeah, he was willing to do more. But Ryan Reynolds was like, not on my watch. Anyways, okay, that's it. Anybody who knows my songs, does anyone have a closing song that you'd like to choose for, or do you want me to choose anyone of things? Actually, I'm going to do One Good Thing. It's a slower song, but this is a Justin one, and people seem to like a Justin one.
Yeah. I could share every taste, show the world what really went down, but my faith holds me back, and I won't tear you down. I keep taking the high road, I keep trying to find the one good thing about you. Out of 100, there are stories I'll never share. I won't gossip or give it away for the love of your kids. For the sake of your marriage, I keep taking the high road. Oh, I keep trying to find the one good thing about you.
Thanks, folks.
You always mistook my kindness for weakness, but I know the secrets that were in you overnight. I keep taking the high road. Oh, I keep trying, to find the one good thing
Good night.
about you. The world may never know what I know. Heaven knows the restraint it takes to protect someone who won't do the same. I keep taking the high road. I keep trying to find the one good thing. About
Thanks, Leslie.
I keep taking, I keep taking, I keep trying to find the one good thing about
Oh, I'm sorry that you got some bad news, Jaded. All right. That is one good thing. Thank you, folks. Have a good night. Bye. And I don't know when the next one is, Carol. You know me. I just do it when I feel like it. Maybe that's not a good way to go about it, but that's what I do. Okay, bye.